Kaya. The gathering of our people today is called Kulunga Puja, our children's land. Today, this ceremonial gathering is overseen spiritually by two strong Yorgas. One who keeps the campfires burning on the east coast, Jenny Munro, and the other from Dumbarton, keeping the campfires burning on the west coast, Selina Eggington, who will oversee the spiritual and the human dignity of our gathering today. We are in good hands, Ma Mudich.
Kaya Wanju. Nanang Selina Eggington from Dumbarton Aboriginal Corporation. Kaya Wanju, hello and welcome. We acknowledge our Wajak Mort, the traditional owners of this Buja, and we acknowledge all the 13 clan groups that make up the Great Bibbulmun Nation. Today's Kulunga Nala Buja rally has been convened by the Dumbarton Aboriginal Corporation as a response to the recent death in Kalgoorlie and to all our young Aboriginal people who have been oppressed. We would like now to ask you to all stand as a show of respect for a 1 minute silence for the young boy that passed away in Kalgoorlie. Thank you. Thank you. Just want to let people know that we've got some ochre here. If anyone would like to put some ochre on their face and feel the spirit and the power of our old medicine. The ancient ochre, or wilgi as we know it, were used for ceremonial purposes by our old men. And it's what differentiated man from all other life forms. So the ochre that we've got here today come from Balladong country, Dryandra. My grandfather used it during the time when he would do his miras or his corroborees. So it's come from a very sacred place in Dryandra. I want to now introduce Jenny Munro, who's come all the way from Sydney, flew in this morning. And Jenny's come to show the solidarity of the Koori people with us here today.
I come today with a very heavy heart, like all of you here with us. Our hearts are heavy from this burden that we all bear and share. The penal colony was always meant for our people, and we are right in that penal colony, right around this country, no matter where you go, whichever of the white man's states you wish to visit. Our people are in their jails in record numbers for reasons that our people, or their system even calls petty crimes. And this country thinks it's a beautiful place, the land of the fair go. No. They never saw justice when they came, and they certainly still hide from truth to this very day. We've had a Royal Commission over 25 years ago when they examined 99 deaths in custody. It was a lawyer's picnic. All the lawyers got paid well. The black field officers got nothing as usual, but they did their work conscientiously for their people. 339 recommendations came out of that Royal Commission. The government acted on one. If we're going to have another Royal Commission, another lawyer's picnic. Let's cut to the chase. Let's start at the beginning of the process, not the end. How the police police our people. How the media portrays us in such a negative light. How the courts are even worse when they hand out those judgments. Racism is embedded in this country. It's the very bedrock that white Australia survives on. The bedrock of their survival for 230 years. They have a sickness. It's a serious mental health problem. And turn away while they continue their slaughter. Black men, black mothers, black brothers, black babies. Doomed lives laid down on this cruel and fictitious altar.
Thank you, Sister Jenny Munro, all the way from Redburn, Sydney.
The gathering today is about our human rights to be the voice of our young people and the oppressed and the silenced voice in our community. We are a dignified people with integrity, compassion and humanity. The Western Australian Attorney General, Michael Mission, has commenced to lay charges of the young people in Kalgoorlie, who he says started race riots and anarchy on the streets of Kalgoorlie. He seems to have been more focused on the young response to the death than the killing itself. They're our young Kulungas, stood up, fought back, made note that they weren't going to stand still at the death of one of their young friends, one of their young critters. Well, I say, remember Cronulla and how many so-called race rioters were tracked down and brought to justice in the attacks against the Lebanese. There were none.
Well, we're going to come with an Indigenous solution. And the Indigenous solution is going to start from the grassroots.
Today, Dumbarton calls for the stop to all the absurd political idealisms such as Welcome to Country, cultural exchange programs and all public Aboriginal art exhibitions and dance performances until all the charges are dropped against the young people in Kalgoorlie. In a democratic society, we as Aboriginal people have the right to free speech. And the one thing white people can never do, regardless of how high they fly their flags or how loud they sing their deceitful national anthem, they can never deny the truth of how they have forcibly occupied our country.